feel like that is a must ban versus this team, and they've even talked about it themselves, TL, in a lot of the content that they've done. So let's see what they will do with the CoreJJ first pick Nautilus. I mean, everyone always loves to see CoreJJ on engaged champions, so definitely a good place to start. Of course, it won't be the super beefy Nautilus because Senna is banned, but it will be an engaged champion nonetheless.
Right, both of those hyper-scaling AD carries with the Smolder and the Senna banned out this time by TL. Remember in their game yesterday, it was the Smolder and the Aurelion Sol on the same team, the double dragons stacking to infinity that got TL their win. Obviously not going to be the exact same case this time around, as Xayah is locked in first and foremost for Dig. This always seems to be a good answer when you know your opponents are going to have really solid dive, like the point-and-click Nautilus ulti. Well, Xayah just immunes it.
Yep, the anti-dive AD carry. Xayah a classic, and since they are on red side, they just get the whole duo in one round on draft. Pick up the Rakan as well to have the turn around. I mean, really we've seen a lot of success with teams using some of these counter dive strategies. Taliyah's success has been through the roof, Poppy as well. A lot of these things that will block dashes or make it difficult for engaged champions to find those angles and get through your team fight have become very successful. And we get another one there that Taliyah instantly picked up as well.
All right, Taliyah locked in on the side of Team Liquid. we always got to hover the zigs a little bit for these guys. I feel like with all of the one-trick accusations that get levied towards APA, you've got to at least just mess with them a little bit here. The Aurelion Sol, again, that was huge in their win yesterday, being able to scale up, have some big moments on that one. I'm not buying this bait.
Yeah, I know. I just like it because, he has mained Kled in the past as well. APA has mained some very odd mid lane champions, and people always talk about his champion pool, so he's kind of shout out to them there, flexing a little bit there. But in the end, they go with the Aphelios. Okay. To me, it'll be interesting too, because there's actually been a decent amount of discussion around the Static Shiv Aphelios that's been gaining more popularity, because Static Shiv is 300 gold cheaper than Kraken and just gives you some very nice wave clear. A lot of people actually going towards that as well. So we'll see if this one pops up. Of course, yesterday we had a bunch of the Sivers with the 4 armor. The 4 armor.
That 4 armor, man.
Oh man, everybody is falling in love with Siver. Then we're getting a bunch of Static Shiv Sivers as well. But definitely might be the case here at 4TL, because that, along with a Taliyah from mid lane, very good recipe for wave control into traversing the map. Meanwhile, though, the answer, of course, the Ahri instantly locked in there for Dig, and it does mean they're going to target top lane, try and whittle down on Impact's champion pool even further, and they can guarantee Rich that counter pick. Jungle counter pick is pretty useless. Sometimes there can be some really niche areas where a jungle counter pick can pay off, or if you've got some really big surprise where you're actually going to do carry jungle or something you really want to keep hidden. But vast majority, you definitely want to give that to Rich, to top lane, who is a guy that we haven't been able to talk about a lot on Dig this split, whereas Rich last year was the big poster child for Dignitas. All these counter picks, the Quinn into the Renekton, all these spicy ones, Alawi up there, with some good games, some bad games, but nonetheless, he is a guy. He's a guy that made the most of red side counter picks for top lane. And it just simply has not been the story this split. So maybe this will be the game heading into playoffs where they want to reenact it.
All right, well, it is that double top side ban from the side of Dignitas, the Renekton. Now the Rumble banned away here too. Team Liquid getting rid of the Sejuani. They're targeting these junglers that you pick on a 4 and you can kind of play them into anything. Exactly what you're talking about. They're assuming Dignitas wants to keep that 5th pick for the top lane. So 4's got to be your jungle. You're going to pick it without having a whole lot more information. So get rid of the stuff that kind of fits anywhere. Sejuani's kind of the do anything tank. And there goes the Aatrox.
Get him the t-shirt! Get him the t-shirt now!
All right, Rell,
you've got my vote. Get him that
Dignitas.
Right now!
The jungle. We got the Bard getting a t-shirt. We got Dignitas getting a Rell.
T-shirt, 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 t-shirt. Get him the t-shirt ASAP. We got your back here on the LCS. Meanwhile, the Rell, like you're talking about, Rell big AoE engage here. I mean, if you're going to have a Rakan Rell, that is the go-to AoE engage. We saw so much of this combination last year used so successfully. See if Dignitas are going to be able to do so here today as well. And the Wukong came back. Interesting because the passive changed for Wukong on this patch. The little buff there where it only goes up to 5 stacks, but they all have double power. So you have the same amount of power, but way easier keeping your passive stacked. The armor, the health regeneration certainly does help out in a lot of these situations, trying to be ready for, oh no. That reaction you just saw on your screen, maybe they're just waiting for something. Okay, never mind. I won't even bring it up.
Okay, all right.
We've got some all chat going here that it seems like everything is gonna go smooth, okay? Good reactions though from the players as we get into this game. Super, super hyped for this one. As Emily said, TL, it's a monumental game for them.
Right. Team Liquid can lock themselves into the playoffs, I believe. Dignitas, they're still going to have to scrap a little bit more, but they'd really like to win this one here, too. Remember, they're only 1 game apart so far in the standings. 15 seconds left before we hop into the game, Kobe. Who are you going to give the edge to in this draft?
I mean, I personally really like the Dignitas side with the flexibility there. As long as Tomo is good with his Xayah ultimate, I really feel like this draft overall has has a really good chance. But honestly, wait, is the t-shirt here? The t-shirt! Hey,
there we go!
We get a camera on that soon.
We got the t-shirt. Thank you,
delivered.
Daniel. Hell yeah, buddy.
Daniel with the delivery.
Yeah!
1 million mastery points barred. What an accomplishment, and congratulations on the t-shirt.
It's a good day to be here at the LCS. It's a good day for game number 3. Team Liquid going up against Dignitas right next to one another here in the standings. Let's see how it all goes down. Remember, in Team Liquid's game yesterday, their backs were up against the wall for a while. They were behind in the game. They successfully defended, scaled up, and got to the point where they were able to make the comeback. I'm curious, are they going to be in a similar spot here today, or will they be able to just take the lead right out the gate?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Wukong is usually way more potent post-level 6. Not too much of an early skirmishing type of jungle, so I kind of expect early farming out of TL for the very beginning. But once you do get to that level 6 for Wukong, you definitely can go for some combination plays around the Taliyah or around the Nautilus on bottom side of the map. So Umti might be looking towards mid, towards bottom after he gets off a couple of full clears for himself. Meanwhile, eXyu on the Rell, of course, the most infamous grubby assassinator. Rich.
Uh-oh. Yep. Rich is not having a great time here. Impact immediately. Popping the Ghost. Chases after him. And Tofo Strike coming out again. Rich has to flash over the wall. And yeah, he's going to get away, but Ghost is on a much shorter cooldown.
Yeah, I mean, that was a dangerous little entry towards the river for Rich and a pretty big punishment there. Ghost, obviously, a much shorter cooldown, but also pretty big chunk out of his health bar. It's worth being said, too, with the Rell, they did slightly take down a little bit of a nerf to the grubby taking power, but still quite good at it. And as you can see, Rell currently in your jungle. Counter jungle immediately here from eXyu. We did take also a look at some of the jungle proximities for both these players, because the junglers on both TL and Dignitas have been incredibly critical to the game plans for both these two teams. And both of them, you know, number 3 and number 4 with jungle proximities around bottom lane, spending quite a lot of time here. So it's interesting that with eXyu splitting the map here on Rell, you want to get to the level 3. He's finishing off Krugs. They didn't find him on Krugs. Seems like they are not going to do anything about it. So no dive here. The wave pushed right back out. Yeon and CoreJJ are level 2. They're not too scared. And they've been able to deal with the split map without any real big issue. But eXyu did not just come back to his blue side. He went for the recall, and he's coming out with just the control ward and the cloth armor to come meet up with Umti.
Exactly. You saw a lot of on my way pings coming out from both teams here in this red side jungle of Dignitas. eXyu's going to show up. He will see the Monkey King in the jungle.
And eXyu does have his smite as well, so Q smite should be able to secure it for him.
There it is. Easy peasy. 1, 2, 3. He crashed down to keep the fight going. Umti has to retreat after losing the smite fight there for the red. And hey, if you're eXyu, you're pretty happy about this. Double red.
very happy. I mean, it's always really fun with jungle to examine the possibilities when you do have big ability plus smite combination like that. You know, if you don't have such a guaranteed win in the 50-50 on a smite like that, then you probably just finish up the...
Ooh, Yeon down to 200 HP as Isles and Tomo really putting on the pressure here with the Xayah Rakan combo in bot lane.
Yeah, they do get the cleanse down, but if you don't have that, then you probably just finish up on your clear and do your blue quadrant like normal. Umti, you could see, was caught off guard by eXyu doing the recall and coming to contest the smite because he has the big burst potential on the Rell, but eXyu came back after that little skirmish, but it was just a cleanse, just a little pause.
No, Umti is going to find eXyu once again, trying to steal away some camps. The chickens are the target. eXyu will hit him with the Shattering Strike. Smite is still ready, but this time it's Umti who combos his abilities with his summoner spells and secures the big chicken.
There you go. Got the big one. Always nice to get the little ones as well. The little raptors are very valuable. Of course, you get bonus experience because of your jungle item when you kill the large monster of any camp, but the small ones on base value actually have more base value in them with golden experience than just the large raptor. Meanwhile, it's going to be another gank though. Talking about Wukong and early ganks, this is a level 3 Wukong because of all the jungle trading that's gone on. That has not had a very smooth, you know, full clear start to the game. And I think that is definitely in benefit to Dignitas, but does mean grubbies are up and grubbies are going down.
As soon as they spawn, he's ready to hit him over the head with the stick. Umti immediately jumping on this first neutral objective. Grub number 1 secured. There's the level 4. Still just going to continue sweeping through these. You can see eXyu's nowhere nearby. He's on the other side of the map. They also have the ward down in the brush next to the enemy chicken pit to see if he's going to rotate over. Umti's happy to take the first 2 grubs and then go back into his jungle. They know that there's priority in both solo lanes for the Dignitas laners, so he doesn't want to put himself in a spot where he might get caught and might get punished.
Yeah, and you don't give that global alert over to the enemy team either. Now we're on support roam timers, which is a very dangerous time in the game, while we still have fairly light vision, but a lot of kill potential. Isles and eXyu are here first.
CoreJJ making his way back down to the tier 1 turret, but it is a 4-man move coming out from Dignitas. Yeon should be your target here at the start. Dove comes over the wall. The damage goes through, and it's first blood back to Dove's Ahri. eXyu gets away with 100 HP, and Dignitas are first on the board.
Man, I'll say it 100 times. I love Rell and Rakan combination. There's so much CC between these 2 champs. Under the tower, too, with the extra shields. They get the dive off. Good roam from Dove from mid lane as well to make sure they have the extra damage there. It's the only thing that combination could be lacking. It's a nice little move here from Dignitas, coming out firing.
That's what I want to see. If you're fighting for your spot in playoffs, if you're trying to make sure that you get there and you still have more League of Legends to play next week, that's what I want to see you doing. No being asleep. This is not a farming game. It's a PvP game.
Yeah, don't let me catch you sleeping in class.
No.
eXyu wide awake, and they're going to head right back down towards this mountain dragon after the reset. They're pretty rich here. You see the Berserker Greaves rushed by Tomo. So I think they should be able to burn through this one.
Yeah, not really much of a problem. Again, the first couple of grubs did go over to Team Liquid and to Umti, but Dignitas will be happy taking this first Drake. Mountain Drake is a tankier one, but when you've got total control over it, when there's no contest, you've got your bottom lane with control to help you do it. Not really a big of a deal, as, CoreJJ gets rooted up there. Nice little bit of free damage for the Dignitas bot lane duo.
And I see a Kershi Shard. That probably means we are going to get the static Shiv version of Aphelios.
Okay.
Really does help out with the wave clear. Of course, it's such a cheap item. It's why people started getting it now. Even though Kraken Slayer is so powerful, like Kraken Slayer with the buffs, very powerful, but doesn't give you that wave clear and a little bit more expensive. I want to see, because we do have Taliyah ultimate for APA ready.
Okay.
And we already had one influential roam from Dove. So maybe we'll look at a play here from the Taliyah. Umti is level 6 on Wukong. That's where you're looking for the real influence from the Wukong. If he can kind of link up with APA, try and get a play going back for bottom side. But bottom side is already kind of getting pushed out again.
Bottom side's kind of getting pushed out. Also, worth mentioning, APA doesn't have anything that adds extra firepower in his inventory just yet. Mercury Treads plus tier. He's going for those items to set himself up for success scaling forward, but none of them really add extra burst, extra potential to guarantee that they get the job done if they're trying to make a dive.
Yeah, I mean, I really do love the new Seraph's Embrace with all the buffs that they've given to it, but it still is very much a scaling item. You know, like you're saying, when you're starting the tier, obviously going to have a lot less combat power, but so nice for scaling up later, and it just gives a really juicy 2-item power spike. When you do get your Seraphs completed, the extra shield, so much health there. When you're playing against an Ahri and things that can, you know, lend a lot of CC, that little cushion of extra shield could be the difference between life and death. But life and death on bottom side pertains to running away.
Yep, it's looking more like death now as Yeon is caught in a bad spot. Tomo and Isles going in looking for him here. Tomo does end up having to spend a Featherstorm to guarantee it, but he'll happily do so. It's a 2-0 game for Dignitas. Another move here in the bot lane, another death for Aphelios.
Okay, bot lane camp going well. eXyu back down there, got another one. Aphelios in the dirt. Beautiful stuff here for Dignitas, the recipe for success. And as we mentioned, both of these junglers actually have pretty high jungle proximities towards the bottom lane. eXyu, obviously, in this game, getting the better of it. Maybe Umti here with the extra farm on Wukong will be able to make his presence felt. Still waiting on that ultimate, but does have a flash as well to make it even better.
And eXyu can secure the final grub of the first set of them. 2 grubs to 1, favoring Team Liquid. As, again, I feel like just bottom lane's kind of been our story so far, and that's a lot of what I was expecting for this game. I feel like both of these teams can kind of look at bottom lane as a way to blow this game open. You've got Impact up in the top side, who's kind of this immovable wall. He's just always the eternal presence in top lane. So you're going to look to the other side of the map, I feel like, naturally, and so far, it's gone Dignitas' way.
It certainly has. And I cannot stop giving credit to eXyu. This guy, the coaches were so outspoken as we have a top lane scuffle that, to your point earlier, probably not going to result in any death, just a way for top laners to have some fun in the game. But eXyu, the coaching staff was so excited about bringing him into a full-time starting position. Well, we might actually get another scuffle down here. Charm lands.
The quickness locks up Yeon, but now Team Liquid's ready to fire back, but Dignitas is also bringing in more dudes. It's a 4v4 in the bottom lane, but Dignitas does not want any more to do with it. Team Liquid still seeing where they might want to go with this one. The wave, they're trying to just get it pushed up, get this thing ready to crash into the turret, reset the state of things here in the bottom lane. As you can see, APA heading back up the river, back towards mid. Dove is already still back there, getting that wave pushed up himself.
And even though technically this time around Team Liquid do defend it, I mean, they use their teleport here from mid lane. So Dove on the Ahri, who once again roam halfway down river, Dove is going to have that teleport advantage. See if they can get anything out of these small little advantages that they are building up. But back to our story. eXyu, this guy has done so much for this Dignitas team where people did not, again, have super high expectations for this one either. Really have been enjoying how aggressive he's gotten. I will say, we were even talking about this earlier, maybe in the caster room, but
the Knight's Vow.
The trend of junglers going much more supportive nowadays Because there is less experience and gold in the role has finally turned into the Knight's Vow rush, which is it is the least damaging. I mean, ever since the T1 Gen G game, very recently, if you have Canyon rushing it, then everybody's going to do it. APA?
APA shows up top side to guarantee they get the job done. Impact going all out, puts Rich all in the ground. Nicely done from TL. Dignitas going to take that as their green light to go for Drake #2 this game. eXyu should be able to take care of this one by himself. Isles just running interference, setting up vision, making sure that nobody from TL comes to try to stop him.
All right, TL showing some life there, Flowers. We get our move, we get our play from APA up to the top side. They do kill the Gnar. It's going to give some turret plate money. Obviously, it's going to cost them Dragon #2 here. You don't really start to sweat until Dragon #3, but if they can really make use of, they can't quite squeeze out the last plate here. We're really hoping for 2 of them, but if they can make use of that money to turn the early tides here, definitely would be a decent sacrifice. Still looking for the first Wukong ultimate, though.
Yeah.
And flash ready here for Umti, too. So hoping for some more focus there from the Team Liquid jungler. I will say, though, yeah, with Frozen Heart getting another 100 gold nerf and a little bit of armor nerf as well, it's like the next best armor, super efficient, cooldown reduction as well on the Knight's Vow. Plus, it makes your AD carry that much happier. and if Canyon and Owner are doing it, then everyone's like, yep, I will try it as well.
Yeah, it kind of just makes sense, right? You see a guy of that caliber doing something, imitating it's probably not going to be the worst thing you could do. Stride Breaker completed for the Wukong. This item was one that completely fell out of popularity after the change away from Mythics, but now that it's been changed back to one of those Tiamat-style items, it's become more useful, especially for a champion like Wukong that normally only has a form of CC on his ultimate. Gives you a little bit of extra sticking power.
Yeah, it actually just feels so smooth to use as well. Stride Breaker gives a lot of widely applicable stats. Umti here stacks up his Conqueror, but doesn't really want to stick around in this one. But it's just so smooth to use here for the Stride Breaker. Pretty decent range on it, and the move speed difference that you get with the slow plus the boost, quite nice. Like you're saying, once it was turned into a cleave item, started to regain some popularity here.
The only thing that I'm sad about, it's not called something Hydra. All of the other ones are a Hydra. It should be
what would you call it? It's like a chain whip Hydra then.
Stridra.
Oh!
Yeah. It's one of those made-up words, like Kanik Rooker. See? Kanik Rooker's in the game. Anything else can be in the game.
Just
Stridra is greenlit to be in the game.
Stridra.
Devs, if you want to do that, just give me some credit. That's all. Just put me like in the lore or something. But Dignitas are now looking for another neutral objective. Remember, the Grubs, we didn't even have all 6 take in this game. It's 2-1 favoring Team Liquid. Neither side has a ton of advantage from that, but it's already both Drakes going over to Dignitas. Now they're focusing on the Rift Herald, and it doesn't look like anybody from TL is in the neighborhood to stop them.
Yeah, Rift Herald going to be taken over. TL are actually fancying a possible repeat play on Rich.
Uh-oh.
Well, CoreJJ chilling on the ward, and we get the recall channel from Umti, so Umti just going to back off as well. It is a Mega Gnar. Rich had transformed, so gets a little dicey there. Plus, he's got the flash for the outplay, so they're just going to have to resign themselves to giving up.
Ooh. You could see the attempt at the shattering strike there from eXyu to knock APA off of the Weaver's wall, but he ain't gonna find him here. Isles wants the quickness, but he doesn't connect on anybody, and now Dignitas, they have to disengage. Here comes your Cyclone. There's a Wukong ulti you wanted, as Isles needs to get back over the wall, flashing out of the Herald pit, as Dignitas do not get what they wanted there.
Well, that certainly was a Wukong ultimate. I don't know if it was the one that I wanted.
Okay.
I did see a Wukong ultimate, though.
Yes, he pressed the R key.
I saw that. That's true. He was spinning.
Out of all of the Wukong ultimates, that was certainly one of them.
That was one of them. He was spinning. It was not winning too much, but some farm bounties actually popped up too. I always find these things kind of, you know, odd to track what goes into them, because you look at the mid lane and you're like, oh yeah, both mid laners, almost the same CS, both with 1 kill, both with 1 bounty, even across the board. Fair, I like it.
Yep, nice balanced game of League of Legends here. Only 500 gold, the lead for Dignitas. They still got both those early Drakes like you were talking about. You don't really worry until the 3rd one goes over. It's about 1 minute until that, as Dove is under pressure. APA and Umti looking for him here, but it's Dove who's got backup coming in. He is unafraid to stand and fight these guys. All right,
yeah,
no worries.
Yeah, as you should be. Looks good to me. Easy Ahri ultimate there. Not too much danger. You know what I think these bounties are? These bounties are the game saying mid lane is one of the strongest roles. Maybe the strongest.
It's always been one of the strongest roles. That's
They're
just
like,
League of Legends
you know
rules.
what? The game is really, really close and really even. It's probably those mid laners with the power. Here we go, though. Rift Herald in. Charge gonna be able to one-shot this tower.
Bang! And then eXyu can just jump right back out anyway. Nothing to it. Dignitas grabbing that first turret of the game for themselves. as the Drake is alive. This would be number 3. This is the big one that you were talking about. This is what puts the pressure on TL for the rest of the game. But now it's eXyu looking for the engage. Magnetstorm finds CoreJJ. A lot of burst, but it ain't enough to kill him here at the very start just yet. Now Impact's going to be your focus. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's Isles and Dove trying to fight the rest of Team Liquid. Impact is still alive somehow. He gets himself away, but CoreJJ drops first. Yeon drops second. Dove zoning out Umti and APA. And Dignitas just out team fight him.
Yeah, this is a massive, massive diff here for Dignitas. They're going to be able to push 2 objectives at once. Tomo shoving up mid lane while they get Dragon on bottom side too. Nobody went down. Dove was on that top side running off 2 members. Both Umti and APA completely zoned out while the rest of Dignitas cleaned up the kills. Massive from them. They just decimated this Aphelios here. Now Yeon with no flash, no cleanse. Going to have an even rougher time surviving the repeat play. Dove even tries to get back to top side to hopefully defend the remnants of this tower. I mean, as low as it gets, as long as it doesn't topple there, you'll still have such a big advantage for the next team fight. TL were really hoping to at least cash in on that one and get 1 tower down for themselves.
Health don't matter on turrets, man. There's 2 kinds of turrets, a living one or a dead one.
Exactly.
And that's still a living one.
You're either dead or alive. Binary status for turrets is all that matters. Is going to be a APA ultimate away from the top side too. Okay. I wonder if Dignitas actually just push on that, get the freestanding gold up there, because top side turret 4TL is also very low, so Dignitas could just cash in.
So if you're Team Liquid right now, you know, we're just about 20 minutes into the game. You're 0-3 on Drakes. You're down 2,500 gold. What's the play? Because you don't have the Aurelion Soul Smolder combo like in their game yesterday. You can't just dig in your heels, try to defend, and be like, don't worry, we're going to stack up. We're going to get there. We will win if the game keeps going. How do you put yourself... Hold on, I might not even have time to finish asking this. They're looking to potentially get this wave shoved up, try to make a move in the bot lane, tier 1 turret, but it ain't going to happen. Dignitas already responding.
Yeah, Dignitas not letting them have any free objectives. I love this. When you're the team in power, don't let these kind of easy cross-map trades happen. Much easier to just block there. They did end up, by the way, getting that top tower. So Dove was able to take the full outer tower. It was very low. He shoved in the wave on top side. He gets the turret gold up there on this Ahri. That is now 2 items. Leandri's just completed on top of the Malignance here. So Dove is incredibly powerful, and you already saw in the last fight, he was zoning out 2 people, Flowers.
Yeah, this guy is not messing around. Dignitas up to over 3,000 gold lead now. 20 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. Team Liquid just struggling to find a way to answer these guys. That last team fight in mid lane was really telling with just how far ahead Dignitas is, and they seem coordinated enough to keep this one going, keep this momentum up.
Yeah, definitely a very exciting team here. It's kind of a funny conversation too, because people are really wishing that Isles and eXyu would be possibilities for voting for Rookie of the Year. But because each of them had a few games already, they were just over the line of the technical limitations for not being considered rookies. But they are both very young players.
Yeah.
And both very talented here on Dig. They've done a pretty good job incorporating this entire squad, and they've looked a lot more coordinated than people were expecting. Isles currently just watching and trying to stay safe while they push up on mid lane and top lane simultaneously.
And going back to something you mentioned earlier on in the cast, Rell and Rakan working together, this is such a powerful team fight engage. And when you have tools like that, it feels so good to be in this commanding position in the game, because your opponents have to be so respectful towards that. If they want to try to sit there and posture in a 5v5, if they want to try to stare you down around an objective, they've always got to be ready for that snap, because these two together can instantly say, right here, right now, fight.
Yeah, you have to keep your carries separate. Right now, Dignitas messing around.
Okay, CoreJJ is going to be your target as the Magnetstorm erupts. Umti dropping the Cyclone, trying to stop the engage as Isles uses the quickness. They're going to lock down Impact here at the very start as eXyu's first to drop. Isles and the rest of Dignitas now down a man, have to back away. Team Liquid are challenged, and they rise to the occasion.
It's actually a huge kill for Team Liquid. eXyu has been stacking armor here. And so it was when APA arrived. APA is on that 2-item power spike we were talking about earlier, where he's got the Seraphs completed and he got his Leandries too. So Rell with all of the armor just gets kind of melted through there with the Liandry's. And I believe the last hit even went over to Yeon for some much needed money into the Aphelios. So TL trying to keep this one still within striking distance. Obviously, they are facing a possible Dragon Soul coming up very soon here, but getting a little bit of money back there on the enemy jungle might be the key, because after that kill, we do have Aphelios recalling, and Infinity Edge is done for Yeon. Don't care too much about gold, do care about item completions.
This is so similar to yesterday. When Team Liquid was down 0 Drakes to 3, they had to defend a Soul Dragon at about 24 minutes into the game, and they had their 2-item power spikes to do it. Let's see if history repeats itself. Dignitas, they want to maintain control. They want to be the ones calling for go. They'll shove up the wave in mid. They still have control over the bot side river. Magnet Storm for eXyu, ready to go once more. APA trying to get away. eXyu looks for him, but there's your seismic shove. Umti has to disengage back over the wall, but once more it's eXyu here in the front, trying to stay alive. CoreJJ and everybody else from TL going to be locked up with the quickness as eXu's first to drop. Team Liquid still staying alive for now as Dove is about to drop here from the stasis. You got Impact in the back, keeping everybody else occupied. He just might die. He just might not. Impact walks away. They won't find him here with the feathers just yet. He's still got to try to get the hell out of town. Town is very dangerous.
He's going into
He goes
town.
to the wall. He's going to use the teleport. He's going to get away. Once again, back-to-back games. Team Liquid finds a miracle fight 24 minutes in for the Dragon Soul.
Holy Impact. What a Giga Chad there. Goes from base to base. Double blast cones into the teleport out. Key here is the flash. APA flashes the engage, and then you see Rell is way, way overextended compared to the rest of the team. So Impact on the top side is tanking while they finish up a lot of the damage here onto eXyu. They finally get the kill. Dove gets locked in as well. In a critical team fight here, APA flashes away from the Rell engage, and they get the counter kills. And then Impact, oh my goodness. Double blast cone into the base, teleports out, survives as well. And TL, they don't lose a single champion here. That is 2 kills on top of denying the Dragon Soul. Flowers, how many of these Dragon Souls have been denied and turned into games where we're going 45 minutes and getting 7 dragons popping up because of the comeback?
Team Liquid might get whooped in the early game, but the mid game, they know how to navigate, it seems, here in our final week of the regular season for spring. Dignitas, though, are trying to stop themselves from losing control over this game, from losing this lead that they had been building for 20 minutes. They were up over 3,000 gold 5 minutes ago. Now, barely 500.
All right. TL like those numbers. They like the direction. APA has picked up a stopwatch here in the Seeker's arm guard. So although he did use his flash in the last team fight, now he has another button to possibly push to stay alive. And it's incredibly important when you are the solo AP for your team and the enemy are stacking a lot of armor. We see, start to see some magic resist now picked up as well.
Weaver's Wall used to get Team Liquid extra firing time on the tier 1 turret, but now Isles is ready to go in. He finds the quickness on multiple targets, followed up by the Magnet Storm. Dignitas need to do some more damage. The health bars on TL are largely unaffected. Dove has to try to get back away as Umti's still spinning around, staying alive. The first kill comes through and it's APA dead in the dirt. A shutdown comes back over to Yeon as Rich falls, but Dignitas are winning the fight. Tomo goes forward and Umti has to run. Team Liquid has lost 3 men and Dignitas are heading over to Baron.
All right, that's got to be a Baron here. Umti is still alive, but he's so low. I don't think there's any chance they try and mess around and go for his steal. Dignitas, they immediately silence that comeback attempt from Team Liquid. That's going to be Baron for sure.
Nicely done from Dig. They only lose Rich. They get 3, almost 4. Umti just barely walking out of that one. And now with the Baron, things have been restored to Dignitas in control. Let's take another look at how this went down.
Yeah, Tomo was not going to let Impact live this time around. He flashed for it. Here's another look. Under the tower, as soon as the Taliyah wall goes down, you see them moving up. They make the call. Isles finds the engage right here on APA. APA barely got off his Seeker's arm guard stasis to avoid the charm, which is why it was even close. But then when Rich came in too, zones him off. Umti's already pushed out. Rich went Mega Gnar and got him against the wall while they were able to get the early lead there. Finish off APA, and then that allows Tomo to flash forward because Yeon's the only one with HP left. Nice move there from Dig. Isles goes for it. They make the call, immediately jumping onto him. And even with that Seeker's arm guard, they get the early advantage in the team fight.
And you were talking about it, man. Going back again, it's the Rakan and Rell wombo combo. Both of these engaged champions are sitting on 7 assists in a 7-kill game for their team. And the guy who's got all the firepower, the guy with the cannons, 3-0 and 4, 100% kill participation for Tomo Xayah as well, as they knock down the tier 2 turret in mid.
Yeah, he's getting rich there. Lord Dominic's finished. Cruising here ahead with the Baron buff. Mid lane, as you say, finished. Bottom lane kind of pushing here. Dove playing very safe, just keeping the Baron buff on his cannon minions, keeping watch. Isles just hovering in jungle as we await the spawn of possibly another Dragon Soul.
Yep.
We will see.
Even after put the asterisk.
Yeah, even after Dignitas just won a big team fight and got a bunch of extra gold here, increasing the lead, Team Liquid, they're technically first out on the map with the desynced recalls there. So Umti finds his way with a control ward into the side brush. Still feel like it's pretty hard to get any sort of surprise play. Tomo has no flash, but he does have his ultimate, and his ghost comes up pretty soon.
All right, teleport coming in. Team Liquid looking to try to stop the soul once more. 5 seconds until it spawns. Dignitas with control over the bot side river. Control ward in the pit, stopping the Team Liquid vision as Tomo will knock down that first ward. Rich ready with the Gnar bar. The tier 1 turret's still alive, so it finds a couple of shots here onto Impact, who has to continue walking back into the mid lane. Dignitas already starting up the Drake as Dove tries to run interference and keep APA away. Drake down to 6K, down to 4K. Dig just want to burn it. Team Liquid's trying to come in, but there it is. Infernal Soul goes over to eXyu and Dignitas as the Weaver's Wall comes out. Dignitas cannot retreat any further. Dove is still back over the wall, but Team Liquid doesn't want to take the fight. They know they're down 3,000 gold. They know they don't have the Soul. Umti popping the clone, just trying to create some space again. Dignitas do not have the Gnar bar charged up, but here comes a Magnet Storm into the quickness. CoreJJ is going to be here on the very front, as Impact is also reinforced with the shield. Umti's trying to fight, but Dove over the wall has damage. Umti has to try to get away as he's burning and burning and burning to the Leandres. They're not going to find him just yet, but they already found Yeon. It's a 1-0, a 2-0, a 3-0. Dignitas are crushing Team Liquid.
Yes, they are. 2-layered engage. Yeon flashed away from the Rell, but guess what? After they make the return, about 10 seconds later, Rich is able to get onto him with the Mega Gnar, immediately take down the Aphelios, and Dignitas, they're going to destroy the base at this point. Bottom side pushing hard. At least going to be
died.
Yeah, okay. Well, they're going to win the game then.
Yeah, Umti just died back in mid lane. He is dead. Dignitas now with a 5v1. Yeon and CoreJJ both about to respawn here in under 10 seconds. Impact's going to be back in 15. APA in a 1v5 trying to get away as Rich hits him with the boulder over the top of the head. Stasis for APA to survive the dive from Dove. They turn it around. They take out the Dignitas mid laner, and Team Liquid holds on.
All right, saved. APA, critical there, does live with the Seraphs, with the Zhonyas, and they actually get the turnaround kill there onto Dove. A little bit of money back in their pockets, but man, these fights are so hard for them. The backline for TL, it is just too easy for so many engaged champs on Dignitas to get to them. Let's take a look at the first layer, and it is going to be eXyu moving up on the Rell. TL know, like, yeah, we've got a Taliyah and we've got an Aphelios, so we need to like kite back in our team fight and then DPS as the enemy are charging forward. But you only have one flash, so it makes it really difficult. You see, go in for the initial one. There you go. You get Yeon's flash. Then they try and turn, trying to get out DPS as they move forward. But good job from eXyu and Dove here on the bottom side. They push Umti out. He's down to like 2 HP. That allows Rich, once he got Mega Gnar, immediately in onto Yeon. They crushed the carry. The front line had already been whittled down. Dignitas, too big of a lead at this point. And then...
yeah, this was... Chad Caster the last bullet!
Oh, he tried to juke it at the end too. He was zigzagging.
How do I get away?
Those minions, the minions have auto lock. What the heat-seeking missile from the minion.
Curving the bullet like Angelina Jolie. That caster minion got his money's worth that time around. Normally you farm the minions. Today the minion farms you. Team Liquid now down 6,000 gold. Now down a Dragon Soul. Oof.
Even the Dignitas minions are better, Flowers.
Oh, man. That's tough. All right. So let's see. How does Team Liquid try to defend in this position? Because honestly, man, I feel like we've kind of crossed the line into they just need Dig to make a mistake.
They certainly do. But Dignitas not going to do it. They're trying to clear out the vision first. They're making the game as difficult as possible for TL. Make it dark, go for the Baron, force them to come to you. This TL team does not want to rush at you, especially since they don't have flashes for either carry. APA, big cooldown on his flash. Yeon's is coming up kind of soon, so maybe they wait for Yeon's flash and hope for a miracle.
Well, Dove took a big chunk over the wall there. With your mid laner down to half HP, I don't think Dignitas really wants to commit to a full fight here just yet, but they are going to find Umti's clone. Not really a whole lot. TP now for Dove. He's ready to go. I think Dignitas are going to look for the fight. CoreJJ tries to initiate, but he takes a lot of burst here immediately. Umti is already down before we can contribute much of anything at all. However, he's traded back for Riles. It's already a triple kill for Tomo. Dignitas just won the game!
Penta kill for Tomo!
Beautifully done! It's Big Dig here in the Super Week to end Team Liquid's attempt of having that 3-0 week. They're going to stop them in their tracks. They're going to march it into the Nexus, and Dignitas are going to tie them in the standings and take Team Liquid down 34 minutes in.
Oh, to play an AD carrying with a good front line. Tomo, 0 deaths. Pentakill to end the game. Love me a Rakan Rell front line. Beautiful stuff from him too. Really nice Xayah from Tomo. And they make pretty quick work of Team Liquid. We have had so many games going 45 minutes plus. But Dignitas not going to allow any sort of comeback in this one.
It had its scary moment there in the mid game once again around that 24-25 minute mark. The first attempt at the Dragon Soul, Team Liquid stopped it, but then when Dignitas found their subsequent win in the next fight, when they were able to get the Baron, the pressure stayed on and Dignitas got it done.
Also,